Okay, so here goes. This is going to be a multi-parter, but this is the item that the video is about. The one that I'm holding right there. So this is at one of Callie's baby showers. So I did two for her, one at my parents' house and one at GD Jiu-Jitsu, my jiu-jitsu school. And the item that I'm holding, as you can tell in the photo, we are very confused as to what it is while it is still packaged. I came to learn that it is a ring sling. It is canvas. It was a little heavy, like material wise, right after Callie was born, but like as the months got cooler, it was amazing. It was handmade. This mom gave it to me from the jiu-jitsu community, who is like one of my birth idols. Her and her husband delivered one of their children together at their home, literally just completely unassisted, 100% completely unassisted. So I know I look amazing because I'm getting ready for bed. We went swimming and stuff earlier, and my hair is just lovely. And that is the baby's heartbeat that you can hear in the background, inside of a lovey that my daughter is sleeping with. So the last couple nights, here's the background story. The last couple nights, so I always read one story to each kid before bed. I don't do multiple, I do one, and then I let them chat my ear off, and then I put the other one to bed. And my daughter had made mention about wanting to see wedding photos, and I knew I had the wedding album. So night before last, I pulled that out and we went over that together. And even though we're no longer married, it was just really cute to show her the photos. And I loved my wedding, like loved it, loved it, loved it, loved it. I always joke because Dave used to get mad at me because I always call it my wedding. I never called it our wedding. And he'd be like, "You mean our wedding?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure, whatever." It's like, I did all the planning. I did everything the way I wanted it. I looked amazing. I was like a princess. Like, yeah, he was there. He showed up like super late, close to like when it was time to walk down the aisle, and I was like freaking out. Him and his groomsmen. Yeah. I mean, they were there. They were on time, but they definitely were giving me anxiety with how late they were. But it was just so much fun, and all of our friends and family, like we all danced the night away, and I just, like, we shut the place down until midnight, and we were like being told we had to leave. So then last night I showed my daughter photos from Facebook. I was looking specifically for the wedding cake, and I still can't find it in any of the photos. Why, I don't know, but I wanted to show her the cake and how pretty it was, and the topper, which is like a jiu-jitsu couple. It's basically like Dave and I, and I think it's me on his back in a pink gi and he's in a blue gi. But again, like, I found a place that designed it and I ordered it, and like I put so many like little like special touches into this wedding. That's why I say it was my wedding. Like, I'm the one that did all that. So, I know, right? So then when I was on Facebook, Callie saw the other albums of pictures that I have up, and one of them I said, "Oh, that was from your baby showers." So she said, "I want to see those tomorrow." So that's tonight. So fast forward to tonight. We're looking through those photos, and that one specifically comes up with the ring sling, and I look at it and my heart is literally like longing. I'm like, oh man, I wish I still had that ring sling. Like, that sling was amazing. Like, I loved it. It was wonderful, but it was one of those things where it's like I used it. I don't think I used it as much for Hobbs. I used more of a carrier for him than a ring sling, just kind of the way it worked out. I used like a wrap for him, but the sling was so easy to put on. Oh, and I did the baby wearing shirts with him too, which I liked. He outgrew them pretty quick because he's a big boy, but I love those. The ability to just like put your baby in your shirt like a little kangaroo and go on about life. Those are amazing. I still have one on my registry because I had gotten one as a gift from somebody else before Hobbs. I did not get it before Callie, and I loved it with Hobbs. But again, so I no longer needed this stuff because I didn't think at the time I was having more kids, so I donated it. So I would love it if the baby wearing shirt would show back up into my reality too. But this story is just, oh my God. Okay, so anyways, let me get back to it. So I'm looking at the sling and I'm telling Callie what it is, that's in the photo, and she remembers, like she says she remembers it, and I'm describing it to her, and I said it's a sling for me to like put you in and carry you around, and it was really easy for like nursing, and it did give some privacy with nursing, and it was just simple because you didn't have to wrap it, you didn't have to buckle it, you didn't have to like literally just put it over your shoulder. Like, yes, it's a sling, so it's only over one shoulder, but you alternate shoulders, and it was great. I was like still looking through the pictures, and we get down, and then there's pictures from a different angle because somebody else was taking pictures, and the sling comes up again, and I say to Callie again, I was like, man, I really miss that sling. I was like, that is one thing I definitely wish that I still had, but I'm glad it went to another mom who hopefully got like good use out of it. So no joke, so let's see, let's do a little ADD here. So after the tarot reading for me, the dream reading, and all the emotional release, just all of it, right? Because it needed to be triggered. It needed to come out. I needed to allow myself to feel those feelings, and I needed to allow myself to release them, to process through them, release them, and then I needed to talk about it in a little bit more calm manner with Trevor. Be like, okay, girl, seriously, like, snap out of it. Like, yes, this is your third. Yes, you are a single mom, but you have more support now than you ever did with the first two. And so that was, I told Trevor, I'm going to journal and I'm going to write down things that I'm grateful for. I didn't want to wait before bed because I didn't want to forget some of the things that were on my mind. So I'm still going to create the list in my journal so that if I do start to feel victimized again, I can look back at my journal and be like, look, stop. You have more help now than you ever did, so snap the fuck out of it. So I started creating a little list in my phone that I shall share here shortly. And just like not tons of details, but just like some words to like help remember, like support that I have been given, a lot of things I haven't even had to ask for, things that have just been offered that I wouldn't ever like think about, like Addie and the carpooling, and the fact that her and another mom had this carpool going on, and they're taking care of me both ways. And I'm not technically part of the carpool. Like, I'm not doing any of the transport for the kids, but because of where I'm at life-wise, with where I'm located, like physically, like live and in life stage, like they don't mind that I'm a part of it because it's not anything extra, like onto them. It's an extra child in their car to take, to drive, to drop off and pick up. But it's a route that they're already going, so they're happy to help out, and it just makes me so grateful, and all the other things like Jeannie. And okay, I'll share the list here in a second. And this little one is moving around like crazy right now, in my belly as I'm talking. So, I just wrote a little list. So, no joke, not even an hour after I finish showing Callie these pictures, I get a Facebook message from this girl, from this woman, who is reaching out to me because she found the sling, or she found the carrier, excuse me, I just gave it away. She found the carrier that I gave to her. And this is in Facebook Messenger, so it has the messages from us earlier about the sling, like some of them, about the carrier, and whatever. I suck. I just gave away the surprise. And I like asked her, and I was like, can you remind me which carrier you're talking about? But if it's the one I think you're gonna say, my answer is a resounding yes. No joke. She's like, it's a sling with rainbow colors. And I was like, you have got to be shitting me. Like, okay. Just when, like, it's like I go through these little phases, right? Where I do feel victimized and I do feel hard on myself. But I allow myself to just sit there in the feels. And yeah, I mean, I was shaming myself, like, while feeling, but that was how I was feeling, right? Like, I just sit there and I allow myself to feel those feels and just let them bubble up and let them come and let them just get out, right? Instead of holding them in like I used to, and just be like, yeah, sure, everything's fine, whatever, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to stuff it all down. Let it all come up. Switch my mode to one of gratitude. And then an hour after I like put it out into the universe how much I wish this sling was back into my life, the sling shows up back into my life. Like, you've got to be shitting me. So I'll share those messages here in a second, but it just does still give me hope that it's like I'm still on the right path. I am still growing. I am still learning. Yes, there are certain things with being a single mom, but it's forcing me to build and getting ready to have a third child as a single mom. But it is forcing me to create a community that I have never had before, one that I was not raised to know how to create or accept or ask for or accept, right? And I love that I'm getting the chance to do it. Not only for me, yes, for me, a lot, but also to show my kids, and especially my daughter, like, this is what it should look like when you have children. This is the help that you should have. This is the community that you should be surrounded by. This is the love, the support, because it really does take a village. It does. And I wouldn't have created this village if it weren't for this third little one. I know I wouldn't have. It wouldn't have forced me to do what I've done, what I'm still doing, what I'm being able to now have come into my reality. And it does give me hope that, like, even though this pregnancy didn't look like what I wanted it to look like as far as romantic partner wise, I'm creating something really, really cool. And it does give me that hope to know that that person is still coming, because it is something that I want. And it's something that, like, I want and I crave so bad. And it will eventually manifest itself into my reality when the timing's right for everyone involved. And it just gives me that hope that it is still brewing behind the scenes, and just, yeah, that little hope, and just that re-glimpse into just how incredibly magical the universe is. So I will share my little gratitude list, just a little text list. It's not the one that I'm going to do in my journal yet, but just one to snap me out of my victim state. And then I will share these messages from this mom. So here's just the little list that I created just to be like, look, shut up. You're not a victim. Look at how much support you have. Like, read through this when you need it. And then I can just keep adding to it with things like this ring sling coming back into my life. Just to help remind me, just like, that the universe is magical and this is all happening for a reason. It's all happening the way it's supposed to, and just sit back and let it go. Okay, so here is the message between me and the mom. So that was from a year ago, literally, like almost to the day. And that was when she came and picked it up for me. So here's the okay, so this is at 8:17. So literally I was looking through the photos with Callie at like just before 8. So it literally manifested itself back into my reality within, I would say within 35 minutes. This is crazy. I did comment on one of the photos from the baby shower, and it apparently made the photo and other photos pop up on the Facebook news feed for people to see. It doesn't show up on my news feed, but it must have shown up on like the main page because somebody loved, like, put a heart next to the video that next to the photo that I commented on. I was asking my mom which country they got the outfit from that's in the photo, because I know it was from another country, and I want to say it was like France, but I don't think my parents have been to France, so I don't know. That's why I asked my mom as a comment in the photo. Instead of like taking a screenshot of the photo and sending it to my mom, I just tagged her in a comment on Facebook and asked her. Apparently it somehow made the baby shower photos pop up on this woman's feed, and she saw the sling and recognized it and was like, oh, hey. So there. And then my response, and I'm literally blown away. Thank you, universe, for reminding me that you are absolutely magical. And I forgot, it does get even cooler. That mom also offered me 2 other items, like a high chair, which I don't have something like that yet. I did, again, I donated it. And I have one on my registry and haven't gotten it, which is fine. See, I was like, yeah, it's fine. It'll be fine, right? But she offered me that, and then like a little rocker kind of chair, for the baby. And she was just gonna like put it on one of the Buy Nothing groups, and I was like, actually, yes, I could use both of those items, please. So again, offered to me without me having to ask. And I asked if she thought that those items would fit in the trunk of my sedan, and she offered to drive them to me and drop them off to me because she has an SUV. She was like, any excuse for a 20-minute drive to go get a coffee. And I was like, that is even more amazing.